Yo, what is going on, guys? Mega here. In this video I'm going to be explaining how the MMR system works, according to leaks by some data miners in the DBD community. This first came to my attention through ScottJohn's video on this, linked down below. Now this is not completely official, of course, until Behavior tells us how it works, which they won't, but nonetheless this information is pretty reliable. So I'll quickly go over the grading system. They're reset on the 13th of every month and are almost completely cosmetic, just to show off how much you've played each month. You also receive a blood point reward, up to a maximum of 250,000 blood points if you reach Iridescent 1 for both Survivor and Killer. They have almost no relation to your actual matchmaking in MMR. So right away, here's a summary of how it most likely works. According to this data mine information, your MMR is based off of a point system, starting at the minimum of 1100 MMR to the maximum of 1900 MMR. So for example, if you just played this game for the very first time and you join a lobby in solo queue, you're going to be playing with teammates and a killer around 1100 MMR. And if you've played DBD for say thousands of hours and are quite, consistent in your matches and you're, the best player in the game, you're going to queue into teammates and a killer around 1900 MMR at the very best. Now let's get into how your MMR is raised or lowered for Survivor. The maximum MMR points you can achieve is around 20. Your Survivor MMR is weighted solely in escapes and match length. It does not factor in, points, generators completed, chases, or anything like that. You get more MMR points as Survivor when you escape. Now for match length, you achieve the best MMR when you escape at the length of an average DBD match, so around 10 to 15 minutes. If you rush gens and leave 3 minutes into the match or take 20 minutes to escape, your MMR is going to be slightly lower. And of course, in the worst case scenario, if you're in the match for a very long time and you don't escape, you're going to lose the most MMR points as Survivor. Now, MMR is factored in a very similar manner for Killer. Again, the maximum MMR points you can achieve is around 20. Your MMR is weighted on the amount of kills you achieved in the match, and it again varies by match length. So in the best case scenario, if you achieved a 4K in the length of an average DBD match, being 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to achieve around 20 MMR points, being the best. In the worst case scenarios, you're going to get 0 kills, and the match will either be extremely short or extremely long. There's also a thing called your overall or player MMR, which is factored into your separate killer MMR. If you have been playing a ton of Nurse, Oni, and Trapper, just for example, and you're very good at them, and achieve a 1900 player MMR, being the best, and switch to a killer you've never played, for example, like Pinhead, your player MMR, which is 1900, and your killer MMR, being 1100 on Pinhead, will be combined into an average, and you will play against survivors around that average. A note that should be taken into consideration is that player MMR is weighted much more heavily than your separate killer MMR. Now let's get into Survive with Friends. I'm sure most of you can already guess this, but in Survive with Friends, your MMR is most likely combined into an average, so your team will face a killer closest to that average. So for example, if you're playing with a teammate that's 1100 MMR and you're the max MMR, which is 1900, you'll most likely be facing a killer that's around 1500 MMR. Now this is just like how the old ranking system worked in Survive with Friends, so nothing really different here. So in conclusion, it's a bit of a weird system. I'm not sure why they've used these metrics instead of using emblems or points or something like that. The fact that nothing matters as Survivor and Killer other than your main goal is a bit strange to me. Like, so as Survivor, if you just ran a 5-gen chase and your teammates took 20 minutes to do the gens and you don't escape, you're not going to gain many MMR points, which is a bit strange. Maybe this leaked information isn't completely correct. I guess we might see in the future from Behavior or other information we find out. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Just wanted to get this out there because I think it's good for people to know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.